2 straight. There we go. Testing. Let's see. Welcome to another AriesPointProject video. My name is Aaron, and today is the day after the Cancer new moon. It's July 10th today, and I just wanted to speak a little bit. Been in a process of catharsis the past few weeks, and it was kind of a build-up, I think, to this new moon. You know, it's very, I'm not going to say it's strange, but it's confirmation, essentially, about the power of astrology and knowledge. You know, knowledge, it's the tether that binds us. It limits us while it lifts us. So that's why it's always good to continue learning. But I've noticed since my last birthday that I'm more in tune with the moon cycles, able to follow up more, and I know that's been a topic for people to learn. Astrology is to just kind of follow the moon and get in tune with that energy, and it helps you to follow the transits and gauge the effects through your physical body and your psyche. And I'm in a moon time lord year, 9th house moon time lord year. And it started out with the solar eclipse. And then we just had this powerful Cancer moon, new moon. And a lot of things that I've felt have been reaffirmed within myself and through other people, and through tools like astrology and the tarot. But in life, you know, the river of life, it's flowing, and the energies are raining down, you know, and as the energies rain down a lot, the river swells up and it starts to churn and bring all the stuff from the bottom up. And that's those karmic energies flowing up through us, the roots of our ancestors flowing through us. And in these times we see a lot of uncertainty, a lot of chaotic energies, a lot of self-righteous energies, just the karmic energies flowing through us. And some of us, it's the gifts of the karmic past, our ancestral gifts coming up through us and blooming. And for others, it's the poisons of the past being excreted, being released. Both are natural, I think. And a lot of us will have both of those coming through us. You know, I think all of us will, to an extent. But I did a little tarot reading of my own for the new moon yesterday. Just random, I didn't do any kind of a layout. Just shuffled the cards, flipped the first one was the sun. I placed that one down, and on the bottom was the moon. And I shuffled a little more, I cut the deck, and I had the magician, so I placed that under the sun, and the top card on the other side of the deck was the world, placed that under the moon. And that spoke to me about those feelings of the karmic cycles coming to light. And it's what we do with the gnosis, the understanding that comes of that. And so this morning I kind of woke up with a message within myself that I just wanted to share. And it's about self-authenticity. Self-identification, authentication. And I've been on the path of understanding myself my whole life. And it's the path of individuation, and I think we're all on that path. But some of us are more inclined to the externalized energies, some of us we internalize those energies and we bring them out. And that's more so where I am, so it's easier for me to identify what's out there and harder for me to identify what's in here. And for other people it's vice versa, the opposite. And on that path I've been drawn to other people to understand myself. They've showed me who I am and who I am not. And usually it's through resonating with the values and those aspects within them that I resonate with, or the denial of the shadow projections of which they placed upon me. And it took a long time, of course, to come to that understanding, because as you are coming out of the shadows in life and you're finding your own voice, your own authentic expression, those shadows, some of them cling to you as you come up into the light, and when you start to feel that burn, that pain, that's those shadow aspects that are holding on to you. And they're rooted deeply within you into those emotional experiences and expressions that you felt in life, maybe in past lives. But I have resonated with those in other people, and they've been able to help give me the words to understand them within myself. And it's come down to a few different emotions, modalities that seem to express in the majority of people. And that's shame and guilt. And these feed into fear and all sorts of other emotions, love. But shame and guilt, when you have been in a karmic experience with which you are victimized, where you are initiated into those energies, you start to identify with those, and they become you. It's a spiritual disease, dis-ease, that is handed to you. And it's a karmic energy that others embody, and they express it. They hand it off autonomously. And if you're lucky, you can identify it early on and rebel against it early on. Or if you're open to it, you can. And so I've seen that on my path of understanding the self, shame and guilt has been a strong hook. And I've identified with what was done to me as if I was the cause of that, or the reason for that. Something wrong with me, something I did. And that, I believe, is common. And some people that can't hold on to that, they have to project it and they express it, and they tend to perpetuate that energy in a mad search to find their own cure. And other people, they hold on to it and it just weighs them down and they sink into that subjective reality. And so as you stand, in the authentic search for yourself, you start to feel these things come up. And as you stand up, other people project it. Maybe they sense it within you and they try and push it down, They're not willing to see that within themselves, so they won't accept it within you. And I've tended to be around those kind of people a lot in my life, so I've picked up those modalities and traits and understandings. But I see it in the world around us now, in pop culture, the societal structures. And it's when you stand and you cling on to those fears, those shadows, and you try and protect them, or you try and hide them and coddle them because it hurts too much, that you become the puppet of that, and everything you attempt to do externalized is just the projection of those things. So when you feel the burn, when you feel the conflict with others, with the world around you, that's a good thing. That means you got to keep going, because you're bringing that shadow into the light and transmuting it. And those shadows will become the shine. But it's a process. And I don't know that for a fact intellectually. It's just something I sense and feel. And I was speaking with a friend who's more tied into the pop culture scene. He's integrated into the city limits. The closer you are to the city, the more powerful the influence, I've noticed. And I feel like there's a falling down moment upon us here, Michael Douglas style. The expectations that were placed on you were turned into damnations almost. As there's a clown world consensus reality flip going on, which in these revolutionary times and those transformative energies are coming through us, people don't know what to do with them, and there's all these different outlets for you. Different movements from which you can put your energy into a revolution, so to speak. And this is why I don't trust revolutions. They're easy to hijack. So as you stand in your authentic self, don't do so as the victim, or you only shine the tyrant aspects. Hold compassion for yourself and your fellow human beings. Understand we're all going through our own processes. Stand your ground, hold firm to your truth. But don't feel the need to step on someone else for that, unless they cross the line, of course. So as I thought of this, I remembered my whole life going through little mini witch hunt trials with my peers or the school or whomever, whatever. And a lot of that was my doing. A lot of it was just the process. But it's better to burn in the ignorance of your truth than in the ignorance of someone else's. And there are many meanings to that statement. But that's what I feel when you feel you're burning in your truth, then you're on the right path. Use that energy constructively. Don't let it be co-opted, hijacked, because you're seeing society crumble and it's stepping on the traditions you hold of value and you hold true. Just know there are people out there. There are families, spiritual families, soul families, people that share the intrinsic value that you know within yourself. And you will find them. You know, I've worked in IT for a long time, and I've seen the patterns of IT perpetuating into the world around me, and it's really just hierarchy. It's structural modalities. And when the Internet of Things came out, I quickly realized IOI, the Internet of Idiocracy, was coming. And I mean, we see it now, externalized. We've got AV definition updates for humans, firmware upgrades and updates for schooling and thought progressions, modalities of thinking, protocols that dictate speech, behaviors, and we're seeing lockdowns of freedom and expression as security risks to the network, the hierarchy. And we see where a lot of authentic spirit rising in people is being hijacked through these perpetuations of dead loops. You know, I wasn't here 200 years ago. Neither were you. You ain't going to be here in 200 years either, but your children, the spirit you carry within you and you hand down, will be. So just try and make your mistakes wise and live as authentic as you can, knowing that life in the search of self is an ignorant process, but if you do it with open, curious, and honest intentions, you will not harm others as badly as you would otherwise. So that's all I wanted to say. This is what's going on right now. Followed by that. Take care, everyone.